episode of Grand Prix Insights. Verstappen dominates in Las Vegas while McLaren messes up the plank and both cars are disqualified. Current pecking order of the season, winners and losers so far. Let's meet the top personalities of the moment. Two-row ride hate caused McLaren double disqualification. The Qatar Grand Prix preview. Let's discover Lusail International Circuit.
Max Verstappen will be a deserving winner of the 2025 Formula One World Championship, and with McLaren's double disqualification from the Las Vegas Grand Prix, the title may no longer be slipping through the reigning champion's fingers. The exclusion of both Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri for excessive plank wear was the result of a serious miscalculation by McLaren, whose aggressive choice of ride heights proved costly. The start of the Las Vegas race alone showed why Verstappen merits the crown. Lando Norris, who had taken pole with authority the previous day, threw it away with an overly aggressive launch, something he himself later acknowledged in a far blunter terms. That error opened the door for Verstappen, a driver who no longer gets flustered by the heat of the moment unless he's at a clear technical disadvantage, and in Las Vegas, he wasn't. As tempting as it is to paint Verstappen as the man overcoming the machine, doing so would diminish the work of the women and men at Red Bull. The RB21 is the class of the field in low downforce trim, even more so than the MCL39, which shines in different conditions. The evidence was already there in Monza and Baku, and Las Vegas, despite the cold temperatures, only reinforced the Verstappen controlled the race with relentless pace while carefully managing his tires, unlike those behind him who struggled on worn rubber. Chief among them was George Russell, who admitted that he paid for his early aggression on hard tires in the final laps. It was perhaps the lone weak point for a driver who has been one of the standouts of the season and who would have been in the mix for pole had a power steering issue not struck his Mercedes W16. The car, helped by the layout and cool temperatures, was particularly competitive in Vegas. But Mercedes' true revelation was Andrea Kimi Antonelli. The young Italian delivered a highly impressive charge from 17th to 4th, classified 5th before the McLaren disqualification after a 5-second penalty for a false start, his only mistake of the day. Taking advantage of an early virtual safety car, Antonelli ran more than 40 laps on hard tires, threading the narrow line between pace and tire conservation and keeping Piastri behind after seeing off early graining. Piastri's slump, meanwhile, continued. Once again, the Australian struggled in low-grip conditions, fading behind Antonelli and prompting inevitable questions about where the sharp, incisive driver seen up to Zandvoort has gone. Kimi's penalty would have handed Piastri fourth place regardless, but there was no spark. He looked flat, ineffective, and Norris is outperforming him at exactly the moment McLaren needed a final push. Charles Leclerc was the unfortunate victim of Piastri's hesitation. He finished just a 10th behind Antonelli once the penalty was applied, but his race had already been compromised by the time spent stuck behind Carlos Sainz before Sainz's pit stop. The slow lap cost him dearly, forcing him to nurse marked graining in the closing stages after sitting in Piastri's wake for so long. With the car still lacking personality and saddled with a high downforce setup that made overtaking harder, Leclerc could do no more. Further back, Lewis Hamilton endured a subdued race on medium tires, unable to find a way past Nico Hülkenberg's Sauber. He had made up good ground early on, taking advantage of Ferrari's choice not to start him from the pit lane and slipping through the chaos in the pack. But it was the lone highlight of a forgettable afternoon following a disastrous qualifying, and Mercedes' strong points haul only widened the gap to Ferrari in the constructors' standings, leaving the Scuderia stuck in fourth. While Hamilton was bogged down in midfield traffic, Lando Norris endured a late scare, forced into heavy lift and coast, apparently to save fuel. More than 3 seconds a lap slower than Verstappen, he backed off to ensure he had enough for post-race checks, a precaution McLaren hoped would avoid disqualification. It didn't. The twin penalties came anyway. The issue wasn't fuel at all, it was plank wear. A stinging blow for Norris just when the Drivers' Championship looked to be tilting toward walking. And now Max Verstappen, only 24 points behind, can genuinely believe in a late-season comeback.